Anti-gay, bigoted county clerk from Rowan County, Kentucky, Kim Davis, has been jailed. The backstory is that after the Supreme Court ruled that state same-sex marriage bans are not okay, Kim Davis refused to give marriage licenses to same-sex couples. This blew up. She eventually stopped giving anybody marriage licenses, regardless of whether it was a same-sex couple or not. And ultimately, she was called into court yesterday, where a federal judge ordered her to be jailed because of her refusal to issue marriage licenses based on what she says are her religious beliefs, in spite of the fact that the Supreme Court already had ruled against her. She was sent to jail by Judge David Bunning of Federal District Court, who said, quote, her good faith belief is simply not a viable defense. Going on to say, the court cannot condone the willful disobedience of its lawfully issued order. If you give people the opportunity to choose which orders they follow, that's what potentially causes problems. Yeah, I'll say this opt-out mentality of we believe in the law, except when we don't like the law, and then we don't believe in the law anymore. The judge said, I myself have genuinely held religious beliefs, but I took an oath. Mrs. Davis took an oath. Oaths mean things. Rand Paul didn't like it. He's a presidential candidate and a senator. Don't worry, he has no chance whatsoever of winning the Republican nomination. He said that it is, quote, absurd to put someone in jail for exercising their religious liberties. Of course, exercising religious liberties does not mean ignoring your duties and the reality that we have a separation of church and state in this country, and you are a public official who has to do their job. As marshals removed Ms. Davis from the courtroom, she looked at the judge and said, thank you, Judge. Now, what about Kim Davis's deputies, which include her son, the deputy clerks? Judge Bunning told them very clearly, all 5 of them, they are free to issue marriage licenses to all applicants while Kim Davis is held in contempt, but that they would face fines or jail if they refused to comply. And this was some of the concern that with her son Nathan Davis taking over, that it was going to be sort of more of the same. And the judge sort of trying to preempt that by saying, don't get any ideas here. Let's think back for a second to that Hobby Lobby case where it was argued that if a woman who was an employee of a company that did not include contraception in their healthcare benefits because of religious beliefs, that if a woman disagreed with that decision, that they should simply find another job. It seems like that, what we learned from that horrible Hobby Lobby case, should tell us what should happen here. Ms. Davis should find another job. A Davis supporter named Danny Kinder is quoted as saying, they're taking rights away from Christians. And this is the fundamental misunderstanding here. Bigotry is not a right. It is not freedom of religion. Ms. Davis is free to marry whoever she wants. And by the way, she has many, many times, way more than her sincerely held religious beliefs would prescribe to her. But she cannot deny others' liberty, specifically the type of liberty that is made very clear to be legal under the law, and that was recently upheld by the Supreme Court of the United States, which is preventing same-sex couples from getting married is not legal. Let me give you an example that I thought of. Let's say, so I'm Jewish, but I'm not religiously Jewish, but those who are very religious within the Jewish faith often keep kosher. And if you keep kosher, you can't mix meat and dairy. There are very strict dietary guidelines. Imagine that I was an Orthodox Jewish county clerk and someone wanted to open up a cheeseburger joint where you would be taking cow beef and putting cheese on it, a very, very clear violation of my sincerely held religious beliefs. I would have no right as a government official who has been hired to perform specific duties to deny this person a permit to register their business on the grounds that, hey, my signature is on it. It doesn't matter if I'm eating the dairy mixed with the beef. My signature is on it and my religious beliefs don't allow it, and I would somehow be condoning it. Nobody would buy that, and it would never become this big of a thing because it is not nearly as controversial as what Christians have done, right-wing, extreme Christians have done with gay marriage. The problem, though, and I don't know how long Kim Davis is going to stay in jail. She may already be out for all I know. The problem is she is going to be seen as a martyr. She now is going to be pointed to by all of those who claim there is a war on Christianity, when in reality, this is a situation of no, it's just upholding the law. Everybody who thinks there's a war on Christianity, a war on Christmas, all of that stuff, an attack on faith, they will say, look, jailed for not approving of gay marriage. And that, of course, could not be further from the truth here. The honorable thing for her to do would be to resign her job in protest. She would have earned the respect of many more people rather than just these extremist loons on the right. What she is doing here is holding people hostage based on her beliefs, which should have no place whatsoever in the public sphere, particularly because she is an employee of the county, of the state. She is a government employee. Tax dollars are funding her salary, and that is that. We will continue to follow it. Surprising to many that she ended up in jail, thinking there would be fines, there might be some kind of dismissal from her job, but no, she ended up in jail, and we will continue to follow it. Today's program is sponsored by Harry's Razors. You've probably heard me over the years talk about my different trials and tribulations with the act of shaving. And, this is everything from the cuts and the rusty razors and the entire thing, not to mention going out in public with the little bits of toilet paper stuck to my face. And I've been using Harry's Razors for a little while now, and it's the smoothest shaving experience that I've had. And I would encourage you to try their starter set. No reason to pay over $30 for a handful of blades like some people do. For $15, you can get the starter set, which includes a razor, a package of 3 blades, and the moisturizing shave cream. And if you use my code, Pakman, Pakman, you'll get $5 off of your first order. So go to harrys.com, use the code Pakman, and get $5 off your first order.